shot. Once, twice, dozens of times. He dropped. They cheered. They thought it was over. Then, his hand moved. The red fluid, his blood started flowing back to him. Every drop, from every corner of the room, pulling toward his body like a magnet. His wounds closed. His bones rebuilt. He stood up. The boss went pale. He's getting up like a zombie. 3 days ago, this boy was eating pet food out of a garbage bag. He had no home, no money, no name that anyone cared about. The only ones who treated him like a living thing were a college girl who gave him a sandwich and a stray dog named Potato. So why is he now standing in a warehouse full of armed criminals, taking bullets like they're nothing? Because someone hurt his friends, and that was the one thing he couldn't tolerate. To understand how we got here, you need to understand this world, and you need to understand him. This is a world where certain people are born with mutated hearts, special organs that push the human body far beyond its natural limits. Depending on the type, the user can transcend everything considered humanly possible. The world calls them heart mutants. Most people are jealous. They call it a gift from God. Our protagonist hears this and laughs because his mutation didn't give him strength or speed or fire. It gave him something that sounds incredible on paper. He cannot die. His heart is a heart of resurrection. Every wound heals. Every death reverses. No matter what you do to him, he comes back. Sounds like a blessing. For Jio Kim, it was the worst thing that ever happened to him. From the moment they discovered what he was taken, locked inside a secret research lab, chained down, experimented on every single day for 10 years, cut open, killed, revived, and cut open again. The scientists didn't see a person. They saw a resource, an unlimited supply of whatever they needed, because he would always regenerate, always come back, always be ready for the next test. Pain became his baseline. Humanity was stripped from him, layer by layer, until what was left barely looked human at all, a skeletal figure, all exposed bone and hollow eyes, kept alive not by choice, but by a heart that refused to stop. Then one day, a lab accident gave him his only window. He took it. He ran. He thought that was the end of the nightmare. It wasn't. Our story opens in front of a massive high-voltage box, warning and electric shock labels plastered all over it. Jio stands gripping a tangle of wires, one thought running through his head. If I get caught here, it's all over. 2 lab agents lunge at him. He struggles, then makes a decision. If getting caught is the end, then this is the only way out. He crosses the wires. A violent short circuit rips through all 3 of them. Jio laughs through the pain. It doesn't matter. None of it matters, because beating inside his chest is a heart of resurrection. Burned, shredded, barely standing, he rises anyway and walks out the door. Outside, the world was no kinder than the lab. People saw his face and ran. Every person, every time. He was a monster to them, something to scream at and flee from. So he stopped trying. He lived in alleyways and dumpsters, scraping together whatever he could find. An outcast with nowhere to go and no reason to go anywhere, until the day he found a piece of bread in the garbage and decided that was good enough. While he ate, a small dog wandered over and watched him. He offered it a piece without thinking. The dog licked his bony fingers. A few more strays appeared, circling him, and then a sound cut through the alley that made him freeze. He ducked behind a wall and peered out. Lab agents? No. 3 street thugs cornering a girl. He exhaled. Just local punks. He watched them harass her, spotted the bag of pet food in her hand. She'd come here for the animals. He'd seen enough. He stepped out. Stop. They turned. Who's this beggar? He walked straight up to the nearest one, close enough that the thug could see every hollow detail of that skeletal face. The man started screaming before Jio even moved. Then Jio's arm transformed sharp bones splitting through skin, forming a blade. Shut your mouth. Leave. Now. They ran, screaming about ghosts. The girl watched from the ground, frozen. When he turned toward her, she panicked too, scrambled backward, told him to stay away. He ignored it and simply picked up the pet food bag that had fallen in the chaos. He took a small bite, apologized, politely asked if he could have a little more. She stared at him, stunned that this thing could speak, and then screamed and sprinted away. He watched her go without surprise. He was used to it. At least now I can eat in peace. But she stopped around the corner, hidden, watching. What was that? Was it even human? Then it hit her. A heart mutant. It would explain the bone, the blade, the fact that he was alive at all. He'd saved her. And she'd run from him. She turned back. She pulled a sandwich from her bag and held it out to him. He stared at it, then at her, completely overwhelmed. Is this really for me? Yes, she said, and apologized for running. He took it with both hands and held it for a moment before eating, like he was making sure it was real. Then he bit into it, and something in his face completely changed. This is incredible. The vegetables, the bread, the meat. He paused. I could die happy right now. Watching her gently feed the street dogs, Jio Kim thought she must be an angel. She worked up the courage to ask his name. He introduced himself formally, Jio Kim. She smiled. Her name was Ji-song. She asked how he ended up this way. He told her the truth. He was running from a research lab that had held him for 10 years, a place that captured heart mutants. They'd been hunting him ever since he escaped. She was horrified. He explained quietly that his resurrection heart made him the perfect test subject. They could always fix him up and start again. That's why they'd never stop. She looked at him with steady, serious eyes. Then she grabbed his hand. Come with me, right now. He was stunned. She was pulling him. This girl, with his terrifying face inches from hers, had reached out and grabbed his hand like it was nothing. He went red somewhere beneath the bone. As she dragged him through the alley, his arm suddenly snapped off at the joint and stayed in her grip. She screamed. He told her calmly that it happens sometimes, just put it back in place, and it'll reattach. She did it with shaking hands. A little while later, Jio Kim was unrecognizable. New clothes, a wig, glasses, makeup carefully applied over every inch of exposed skeleton. Jae-song had bought all of it so he could move through the city without drawing a crowd. He was moved almost to tears. It felt like getting a new skin warm, real, his. She warned him she had to go late for class. She sprinted off, shouting back at him to take care of the little ones. He stood there after she was gone, just saying her name quietly. Ji-song. The dogs crowded around him. He looked down at the small one who'd licked his fingers first and asked what to name him. The dog licked him again. Potato, he decided. The dog barked happily. He was already looking forward to tomorrow. Then the smile faded. He stopped himself. He called it what it was: stupidity. He was being hunted. His presence alone put her in danger. The kindest thing he could do was disappear. With a heavy chest, Jio Kim walked alone into the dark city streets, no destination in mind. He found a sewer entrance near a river and crawled in without thinking. Exhaustion took over. He collapsed on the filthy ground and didn't move for a long time. He woke with a rat dangling from his hand by its tail. I can't just pass out anywhere. Hunger hit immediately. He'd pocketed some pet food before leaving. He ate it slowly, trying to imagine it was the sandwich tricking himself bite by bite. Then a sound. He tensed. Potato landed on him and stole the food. He sat there, helpless. That's not for you. Then the larger question hit him. How had a small dog tracked him across the entire city to this sewer? And if Potato was here, then Ji-song's voice echoed down the tunnel. His skull face hid the smile, but it was there. She came in with a look of exhaustion and restrained fury, demanding to know why he disappeared without saying anything. But the relief on her face was impossible to fake. She'd followed the dog's scent trail to find him. She scolded him for putting himself in danger. He apologized and admitted the real reason. He was scared of becoming a burden. She smiled at that. Finding you made me so happy. Then she pulled out a ridiculous pile of snacks. She'd brought too much on purpose, since he'd only had one sandwich the day before. She mixed cookies into milk, created a makeshift dessert, and handed it over. He looked at it skeptically. She insisted it was incredible. He took a small spoonful and burst into tears. Happy ones, completely overwhelmed by something so ordinary and so impossibly kind. As he drank his soda, something unexpected happened. His arm began rapidly regenerating. She leaned in close, watching the tissue rebuild in real time. She asked if healing always took this long. He corrected her. At this pace, full recovery would take years. She went quiet. He explained the faster method requires a specific fluid, but changes the subject before she can ask more. Then he tells her the lab used to heal him just enough to run more experiments. That's why they'll chase him anywhere, no matter where he hides. She puts it together. That's why he ran. You don't have to keep being kind, he tells her. This friendship is dangerous. She stands up straight. Then we're going to the police station. He shakes his head. The police have nearly taken him out before. Ji-song tells Jio her older sister is a police officer and a heart mutant. Jio is shocked, but Ji-song asks him to trust her. Before she leaves the dog shelter, she says goodbye to the dogs. Suddenly, a car hits Jio. Men in suits grab Ji-song. A scarred man calls Jio garbage and ties him to the back of a car. As the car drives away, Jio is dragged along the road. He screams for help. Suddenly, the shelter dogs run out. Led by a small dog named Potato, they bite the rope and pull until it snaps. Jio is free, but the angry men get out of their cars and hit the dogs with baseball bats. Jio tries to crawl towards some red fluid on the road to heal himself, but a man steps on his arm. Jio looks over and sees Potato and the other dogs lying still. They are dead. Jio remembers his terrible past. 10 years locked in a laboratory where scientists took his red blood every day. Sadness and anger explode inside him. The red fluid on the road flies into his body. His skin and muscles rebuild instantly. He is no longer a skeleton. He looks like a normal human again, with glowing red eyes. With one powerful punch, Jio knocks out the leader. He holds Potato's body and cries. Then he vows to punish the rest of the men. The men take Ji-song to a secret warehouse. Their boss threatens her, demanding to know where the mutant is. Suddenly, Jio kicks open the door. The men shoot him many times and Jio falls. But Jio's resurrection heart activates. The red fluid pulls back into his body, and he stands up again. He ignores the pain and defeats every single thug. When it is over, Jio kneels and hugs Ji-song, crying with relief that she is safe. The police arrive to clean up the mess. Later, under the full moon, Jio cries for the dogs. He bites his finger to give them his healing blood, but Ji-song stops him. She says the dogs loved him because they knew he suffered just like them. Suddenly, Potato's puppy walks out of the shadows. It licks Jio's hand to show it doesn't hate him. Ji-song brings Jio to her apartment. He looks in the window and sees his human face for the first time in 10 years. Ji-song smiles